there! Welcome to our little digital art gallery for today's Elements of Art lesson in our unit on color. What do you think of these two paintings? Both are pretty colorful, right? But definitely different from one another. Well, that is because they are created by two different artists who used color in different ways. Your job is to use your observation skills and the informational clues I provide to guess who painted each piece. Along the way, we will learn a bit about both artists and some new technique terminology for the use of color. Take a few minutes to observe the paintings. Notice the colors, where they are added into the painting and used by artists, and how each painting makes you feel. What do you see? What stands out? Pause, observe, and jot down your thoughts in your lesson notes. Let's learn about our artists. These two fellows are named Georges Seurat and Franz Marc. Both were big on the use of color in their work in different ways. They don't look too colorful though, do they? I wonder why. Maybe they just wanted to look professional. Georges Seurat was born in Paris in 1859. He was a groundbreaking French artist whose unique style changed the art game before his early death in 1891. Franz Marc was a German artist born in 1880, and he played a big part in the Expressionist movement with his vibrant paintings. He kept creating bold and colorful works until he tragically died in 1916 during World War I. Seurat and Marc were painting during the time of industrialization, when many new technologies were invented, including black and white photography. Not very colorful, right? Now that cameras could record history, artists' worlds were turned upside down. They had to prove their job was just as important as a camera's. So, artists turned to color to guide them. In France, where Seurat was from, artists used color to push the boundaries of reality. And in Germany, artists like Marc wanted to use color to evoke moods, ideas, and feelings. Imagine you're Seurat, an artist in late 19th century France, trying to move beyond the spontaneous and loose brushwork of Impressionism. You want to create a more structured and methodical way of painting that still explores the interplay of color and light. What kind of technique might you develop? Think about how small, precise elements could come together to form a larger image. Now imagine you're Marc, an artist in early 20th century Germany, reacting to the harsh realities of modern life. You want your art to convey deep emotions and symbolic meanings rather than just replicating physical appearances. What kinds of colors and shapes might you use to evoke strong feelings in the viewer? Now it's time to provide an educated guess. Which painting was done by Seurat and which was by Marc? Pause and discuss in your PDF why you think so based on their techniques and use of color. So let's reveal whose is whose. I hope you were able to come to the correct conclusion. If not, that's totally okay. So the way you can tell the work is by Georges Seurat is to look for tiny dots of color that blend together from a distance to create an image. This is his famous technique called pointillism. You'll also come to notice that his scenes are often calm and detailed, like quiet parks or riversides. Can you see this careful yet peaceful style reflected people's wish for stability and calm during the fast changes of industrialization? Cool, huh? For Franz Marc, you look for bold and bright colors. His style of expressionism is more abstract, with shapes and colors meant to express deep feelings rather than show things exactly as they are. He often uses a lot of animals and nature. Are you able to connect how his symbolic and emotional style reflected society's reaction to the stress caused by rapid industrialization? These are deep thoughts, aren't they? Well, color is deep. Let's see if you have an eye for determining some of their other works. I bet you'll have no problem. Look and think. Do you have your answers? Here they are, assigned to their correct artist. Did you get it right? Both Seurat and Marc have strong and distinct styles. Now, let's dive deeper. Let's look at some of the most famous works by these artists and consider a few things. First, what emotions does the color scheme evoke? Next, how does the artist's technique enhance the subject matter? And lastly, do you like the painting, and why or why not? A Sunday Afternoon on the Island of Le Grand Jatte is Georges Seurat's most famous work. Thinking back to what we've learned about color values and harmonies, how does Seurat use color to create a specific mood in this painting? What feeling does the color scheme in Seurat's painting create for you? For me, I get a feeling of calm and relaxation. Seurat's pointillism technique is fascinating. Look closely at the colors. Notice how he places different colored dots next to each other? Remember what happens when you step back? These dots blend in your eyes, not on the canvas. This is optical mixing, and it creates a unique visual texture and depth. Did you notice the shadows under the trees? Consider the river and the sky. How does Seurat use color to differentiate between the two? Notice the placement of colors and how they contribute to the feeling of depth and reflection. The cooler blues and purples in the shadows add depth, while the warmer tones in the sunlit areas convey a sense of warmth and leisure. Seurat's technique and use of color combine to provide a peaceful and detailed vision of a sunny afternoon. The way the pointillism blends the colors creates a unified scene, making all parts feel like they belong together. Could you see this piece in your home? If not, where else might it fit? If you hung this painting in a space, what kind of mood would it create? Maybe it could calm a busy, stressful hotel lobby, or create a sense of peace in your home. Franz Marc's The Large Blue Horses is one of his more recognizable works. The painting shows bold, intense, and energetic colors. How does Marc use color relationships to create a sense of contrast? The blue of the horses is striking, contrasting with the warmer oranges and greens in the background. Marc often used color to express deeper meanings. Blue, for him, symbolized masculinity and spirituality. Do you get any of these feelings from the horses? Marc's expressionist style is evident in his use of bright and unconventional colors. The blue horses dominate the scene, while the warmer tones create a dynamic composition. What do you think about the contrast between the warm and cool tones? The cool blue of the horses, set against the warmer tones of the background, could symbolize a harmony between the spiritual and the earthly, or the inner world of the horses, contrasted with their external environment. Does this contrast affect how you perceive the horses and their environment? The intensity of the colors and the symbolic use of blue in the large blue horses makes it a really striking piece. Would I hang this painting on my wall? While it's bold and full of energy, I'd have to consider where it would best fit. What about you? Would you want this in your living space? What does it say to you about Marc's view of the world? In the PDF, there are some fun practice activities to give more information about the work of Seurat and Marc, along with sketchbook prompts that will allow you to try creating your own artwork inspired by either Seurat's pointillism or Marc's use of color to express emotion. Today, you've honed your skills in observing art and understanding the profound role of color in conveying emotion and meaning. Seurat and Marc, with their distinct styles, show us that color is more than what meets the eye. It's about what you can create and how you interpret the world around you. If you enjoyed their art styles, they have many more images available to view online. Keep these lessons about color in mind as you encounter art in the future. And remember, art is all around you.
Hey, hey.